How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to JDC Studio. My name is Jacob, and this is my 9th NCS song ranking, which is on another ranker's top 10 list. That ranker is Maisha, who coincidentally is actually Rissia's sister. After I premiered the video where I ranked Rissia's top 10, he wrote a comment on that video commissioning me to rank her top 10 favorite NCS songs, and this is the video. Also, to the others of you that also submitted your top 10 lists, I'll make sure to get to one of them as soon as I finish this video. There's a chance it may take a little longer because my school is starting really soon and I might want to do some things before then. Maybe not, but I don't know. My plan is to get at least one of those videos out before the year starts. I'm also heading into high school, so wish me luck. But with that out of the way, let's get into the list, starting with number 10. Number 10 is Broken by Trinist, which is Maisha's 5th favorite NCS song. This one's honestly very conflicting. I find the off drops beautiful with the deep relaxed chords and background synth arpeggios, but then there's the drops which sound rather lackluster in my opinion, and I can't help but be disappointed by them. On a side note, isn't it funny how the melody in the intro makes you think the song is gonna have a completely different tempo? I give it a 43 out of 100. Number 9 is Goodbye by Linko, which is Maisha's 8th favorite NCS song. This isn't too bad, but definitely not memorable for me. I prefer the verses as the pads make them sound a little atmospheric, although I'm not quite sure about the lyrics. The drops sound like an attempt at future bass, but it took all the atmosphere away even if it wasn't that apparent, making it feel quite empty. I give it a 46 out of 100. Number 8 is Binary by Dong Kong featuring Hanny, which is Maisha's 7th favorite NCS song. I really don't like those vocals before the first build up with slowness distortion, as they sound super ear-rapey. They keep the song below average, however that's the only part I would consider bad. My favorite part would have to be the section with actual lyrics, which sounds much nicer. The drops are so different from each other, yet both manage to be unique in their own ways, although I'm pretty neutral about them. I give it a 47 out of 100. Number 7 is Forever Finally Ends by Clarkson Laney, which is Maisha's 6th favorite NCS song. It marked the beginning of Clark's new era, which seems to be frowned upon by fans of his old Future House, and although I do prefer it, his electronic rock isn't all bad. In the verses, you can tell he took a much more emotional approach, and that's done great, but the rocky drops take away from that a tiny bit, though the addition of string chords over the guitar melody was kinda cool. I give it a 56 out of 100. Number 6 is Talk to Me by Carl Zier, Waterbald, and Firon, which is Maisha's 4th favorite NCS song. This is a bit of a step up, although it still has its downsides. Something I like is that it has a general Future House design, but made calmer than what would be typical. I wish the drop, again, didn't become emptier, but my main problem is the kick it uses, which sounds distorted similar to a funk beat, but the irritation is way less when the rest of the instruments sound clean. I give it a 61 out of 100. Number 5 is Break It by Drolu, which is Maisha's 3rd favorite NCS song. Incredibly unique for house standards, and in full honesty, I wish NCS had more songs of this style. The vocal pads introduced in the intro start the song great, and the Let Me Break It Down vocals that come in a little later are just sick. This complements the hype in the build-up, leading to a drop that sounded so different than I expected, but of course in a good way. The ending is slightly ruined for not feeling that concluded, but it doesn't affect the rest of the song for me. I give it an 84 out of 100. Number 4 is Closed by Ice Cold featuring Molly Ann, which is Maisha's 9th favorite NCS song. As someone who heard the Brooks remix first, which don't worry has grown on me in the past 7 months, I find it interesting that they took a lot of elements from the original away. Examples include the block piano chords, some of the lyrics, vocal chops replicating a part of the drop melody. It's also longer, at least when you compare the versions on the main NCS channel, and I didn't think I'd say this before I took a more thorough listen, but I actually prefer this. Although the remix does capture the EDM vibe better, the lively and other aforementioned factors makes it more enjoyable for me. I give it an 89 out of 100. Number 3 is Redshift by Robert Chacon featuring Roberta Sepulveda, which is Maisha's second favorite NCS song. Y'all know I love modern melodic dubstep. The same goes for Old 2, and this is a prime example of that. From the start, we are introduced to a main melody that goes on for half the song, sometimes changing instruments along the way. Interesting how it somehow makes things feel less empty than it would otherwise. This is similar to the drop, which has a very satisfying bass pattern. However, the best part is right after it disappears, where an orchestra of strings join the mix. This adds emotion to the song, enhancing it even more. And I can't describe how cool the echoes from the impacts at the beginning of this section and the outro sound. I give it a 92 out of 100. Number 2 is Horizon aka Back to Life by Slippy and Bloso featuring GLNNA, which is Maisha's 10th favorite NCS song. This would be considered one from the newer melodic dubstep age, and it's a fire one. The verses are a big improvement of the cool feeling approach in Binary and Talk to Me, which were already decent, but this song made it fantastic. I'm also impressed at how the light drums in the build-up can pump you up, and the drops have savage basses. I would say the drops could benefit from having a stronger beat, but I do think the trap infusion at the beginning of the second one is pretty clever, and savage dubstep basses are always enough to carry it. I give it a 94 out of 100. Awesome song, but not the most awesome here. Along Your Way by Dust Stuff Apollon and Palachrome gets that title, and that's Maisha's most favorite NCS song. First and foremost, let me talk about the first two drops. The feeling of grandness created with the slow beats and melodies that sound unlike anything I've ever heard is nothing short of incredible. The first verse has a drum kit beat playing over very sentimental lyrics. I'm not quite sure how to describe background instruments, but they are most definitely beautiful sounding. About halfway through the song, we then take an unexpected turn into a light DMB drum section, and although I prefer the format from before, it surprisingly works great with the tempo and vibe set. This theme leads us into the beginning of the final drop, which still uses that same melody, but halfway into that drop, we are pulled back into the majesticity of the original beat, and the outro with the final words sung not only being the title of the song, but fitting the setting in such a way that it hits home is just perfection. If anything at all, maybe the overall sequencing and progression of the song could have been better, but it's basically a non-issue and doesn't take away from the fact that this song is a masterpiece. I give it a 97 out of 100. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. If you're new and enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Consider subscribing to Maisha too. It'll help us both out in this community. But that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you later. JDC out.